Got a question from somebody in the audience that's asking, like, isn't IO.net a competitor to YOM? And it's not actually. Well, so in a way, we compete for like somebody who's got a GPU available, like we would want it, you would want it, and so that might be a little bit of a competition. But honestly, what it's more like is you are a support network for us, because as we try to expand our network and we will hit retail, people who have retail machines at home, there's going to be times where the surge is too much, or we're not in a certain region, or just the idea of reliability for constant uptime. Someone like a company like IO.net is able to give us those things. So where we make a higher profit margin of when we have it as an individual retail person running a node, it's unreasonable to think that that's going to be our entire network. So when we first started talking to you guys, so it was funny, we were talking about this. We first met you guys at in Dubai, and we went over to your booth. It was a massive booth. It was really impressive. And as we were talking to, I forget, it was one of your founders, the CEO maybe, we were explaining what else we were building. He, while we're talking to him, he opens up his phone and starts buying some YOM tokens. And we're like, okay, I think he likes us. I think he likes this model. So that was a while back and everything. But but I would say the same. I don't know if you say the same thing, but I don't think we compete, because you guys aren't able to build the game distributing network. I mean, that's kind of the core of what we're building, is something much more focused on delivering the game signal.
Yeah, I don't think of us as competitors at all, right? Because I think like the areas of the market that we're focusing on are so different, and I think like we're obviously never really going to make a play in like cloud gaming, right? Because we understand sort of like the amount of work and complexity that has to be solved to like just solve for that use case. It's like much bigger like companies. I think we talked about this in like our previous like AMA, where we were talking about Google Stadia and how they made their first attempt at streaming, and like the problem back then was it was like too hard for them to solve back then, right? So I think now we're getting the tools, and like you guys are figuring it out. But just like I don't think it's as easy to just be like, hey, like you guys are both offering compute in some form for different use cases. Like, can't you technically go after everything? But then the reality is like compute is so foundational, right? Like that it actually is like underpins like sort of any technology business realistically, and you more so in like more technology or more compute intensive businesses like gaming and AI ML and things like that. Like, so we kind of really just look at ourselves as an enabler of all the businesses like building on top, right? Like we have like I think you guys on the gaming vertical is sort of like one of the key ones, but then I think some of the other use cases that we see where we're working with a few sort of like biotech LLM projects, like that are training LLM models to do like drug discovery and protein folding and things like that, and like be like, well, technically, we could go into that market if we want to, but like, are we ever going to? Like, no, because that's not our expertise at all, right? There's way smarter people working who are spending way more time just solving that problem, that we're just better served by just like enabling them.
YOM.